Welcome to the last episode on the children and the law, Cap 141 of the Children Act, where we are dealing with the question of maintenance. Are you aware failure to provide for your child can land you before this court? Are you aware it's your duty to provide for those rights, the basic rights that the children we said you must provide as a parent? Has your baby mama gone to court and asked you to maintain this child? That is found from section 111 to around 118 of the Children Act. What are the provisions of maintenance of a child? One, you don't only maintain a child that was born in a marriage. Article 53, 1E of the Constitution says a parent is a parent, whether married or not married. That's the first principle. Two, the court looks at the basic maintenance things to be maintained by a father. That is food, clothing, shelter, medication, education, and education-related expenses, recreation, leisure, and any other facilities available. What is the guiding principle? The court wants to make it very simple. The life the child was living should be maintained. So, if as a father you took your child to big schools, when you differ with your mother, with the child's mother, then you say, no, this child needs to go to a public school. The court will tell you, maintain the status where the child was going. Two, the court looks at the financial ability of both parents. If your father, the father of your child, is a poor man, is a border guy, you can't ask that the court now forces that man, the father, to pay a monthly maintenance of 100,000 shillings when he makes 5 shillings or 10 shillings or 100 shillings per day. So it looks at ability. Two, the court looks at liabilities. What are the other liabilities that this person has? Does he have loan? Does he have parents he's taking care of? Is he having medical bills? How is his financial ability? So the court looks at ability and liabilities to provide. Three, the court looks at what are the actual needs of the child. You'll have to produce a school fees structure. You'll have to produce requirements of the school. You'll have to tabulate what the kid eats. You'll have to bring a rent, a lease, showing how much is required, and you'll have to bring a medical bill showing how much is required. So the question of maintenance is so critical that the child can be maintained up to the ages of 18. What about those children who have grown above 18? The law says the court can extend, this court can extend parental responsibility up to the first degree. So those Form 4 students who are going to go to university, don't worry, listen to court helicopter. If your father says you are now an adult and you have an identification card, you will go to court and ask for your birthday to be extended from 18 years to 26 years so that you'll be educated. Two, if a child is unwell and sick, the court can extend parental responsibility and force the father or mother to maintain these children. What does the law talk about each person's contribution? The law talks of maintaining a child equally, not on equal basis, on equity, not half-half, but as a father and as a mother. As a mother, you have a duty to also contribute into maintenance for maintaining of a child. So don't go to court imagining that the father of that child will be compelled to pay everything. You'll be told, go and work, wash people's clothes, go and clean people's houses, go and be mama boga, because you have the freedom to work and generate revenue to educate your child. So on equal basis, the law now is very clear. And courts have now started saying, you are a mother, you'll pay equally 50-50. Authorities from the High Court, here where we are, and authorities from the Court of Appeal have now settled that a mother has an equal responsibility to maintain a child, just like the father. So it is bad news for mothers who think they'll use the court to extort money. It is bad news for those fathers who think they'll escape and say they will not pay for the children that they have given birth to. So today marks the end of the court helicopter series on the law of the child, that is the Children Act. There are other small issues in the Children's Act that we will highlight. One is that the law is dynamic and it is growing. What of somebody going to court and saying, I'm not the father? The law says you undergo a DNA testing. Usually, it is at the cost of the person saying. If the man saying, I'm not the father, the court will say, pay, a DNA testing is done, that result comes to court, and once it is found to be true, then you start maintaining that child. So DNA is one way of getting parental responsibility. If you adopted a child, you have got to maintain that child. That is Danstan Omari, Wakili, with the Children Act, which we have completed. Let us meet next week when we shall be starting another law that you need to know. Court Helicopter brings you this information for free. It is corporate social responsibility to educate you, to do civic education, because ignorance of the law is no defense before this court of law and before life. Thank you. See you next week.